right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Working in a war zone.
Almost every day we need to run at least once.
Tonight, an Israeli CEO who does business here in St. Louis shares the heartache and devastation he and his employees are now facing.
More autumn chill tomorrow morning, then a big warm-up and I'll time out midweek shower chances.
Our top story, an officer charged, accused of firing his gun and threatening parents and kids at a school Halloween event.
It was a smile that I'll definitely never forget.
Tonight, a father recounts the scary encounter.
Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. Hours ago, prosecutors charged Matthew McCullough with several felony counts following yesterday's incident at a trunk or treat event at a Kirkwood school. Tonight, the St. Louis County police officer and son of former county prosecutor Bob McCullough is in jail. New tonight, our Robert Townsend has reaction from a dad who witnessed the frightening ordeal.
Mike Corey Schoenhorst says initially he thought the gunfire in the school parking lot was not real, but then the Kirkwood dad says the horror of everyone running happened right before his eyes. It was supposed to be a pre-Halloween fun time for Corey Schoenhorst, his 8-year-old son, and dozens of other Tillman Elementary School families.
The main crowd had just started to kind of wander in.
But witnesses told police within minutes, off-duty St. Louis County police officer Matthew McCullough stood in the middle of a crowd in the parking lot at North Kirkwood Middle School.
He held up his gun with a menacing grin on his face and a lifeless look in his eyes and fired and waited for the crowd to react.
Witnesses say McCullough fired at least 5 shots. Schoenhorst and other moms and dads quickly grabbed their frightened children. Police say other parents tackled McCullough and held him down until officers arrived.
It was just complete chaos. One kid had completely run out of his shoes.
Hundreds of people were at the trunk or treat event. Charging documents reveal around 4:30 Sunday afternoon, McCullough began harassing people, aggressively approached numerous attendees, and said, "You are all going to die." Nobody was hurt.
It probably took place over the course of maybe 45 seconds, but at the time it seemed like it was 8-9 minutes. I mean, it was like time stopped. Monday, prosecutors charged McCullough with 5 counts of armed criminal action, 4 counts of first-degree endangering the welfare of a child, unlawful use of a weapon, and first-degree terrorist threat. The 39-year-old suspect has been a St. Louis County police officer for nearly 6 years. McCullough is also the son of former St. Louis County prosecutor Bob McCullough. It's a pretty scary thought, because who do we turn to now for protection?
In a statement, the McCullough family says in part, quote, "We also are painfully aware that an incident such as this can and does cause significant trauma to those, especially children and their parents, who witness such an event. Our thoughts and prayers are with those victims."
While he was on the ground, he was still smiling.
St. Louis County Police Chief Kenneth Gregory says McCullough is now on unpaid administrative leave pending an internal investigation. McCullough is now sitting in jail on a $500,000 cash-only bond.
Robert, thanks. Tonight, the Israeli military is amassing troops, tanks, and jets along the border with Gaza, but is yet to launch a ground invasion. Both Israel and Hamas are denying a ceasefire agreement to allow foreign nationals and Palestinians to evacuate or let aid in. Just hours from now, President Biden plans to travel to the war zone in Israel. He'll meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to show the U.S. stands squarely with the country. One Israeli citizen with a St. Louis connection is sharing his sobering perspective on the situation. He's learned firsthand about the human toll of this ongoing crisis.
Amidst this ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas and the relentless media coverage, one man expresses a bleak sentiment.
I think that almost everything you hear about, maybe the reality is even worse.
Ofer Haviv is the CEO of Evogene, a computational biology business that works with life science companies. It's based in Israel, but has offices here in St. Louis.
I've been in St. Louis many times. I know the place quite well. I visit the Arch. I've been in the Bush Stadium. And I enjoy the food there.
But he emphasizes that since the war began, it has been an agonizing ordeal.
So almost every day we need to run at least once to the shelter.
Evogene's Israeli offices are in Rehovot, which is close to Gaza and has been hit by Hamas rockets. And very early in the conflict, Ofer received some devastating news.
One of our employees actually was murdered in Saturday morning. He was together with his wife. At the beginning, it was a shock. And you know, we feel like, you know, you lose somebody from your family.
Evogene is trying to stay distracted by continuing to do business. And Ofer says the people of Israel are very grateful to President Biden and the people of the United States.
It's highly, highly, highly appreciated. And we all want to say thanks for US for doing so.
Above all, he emphasizes that their deepest desire is a restoration of normalcy and a prospect of enduring peace.
I still have hope, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Mr. Aviv has 2 sons in the Army, another reason why he wants peace as soon as possible. Tonight, federal authorities have opened a hate crime investigation into the horrific stabbing death of a 6-year-old Palestinian-American boy outside Chicago. Investigators say the boy and his mother were attacked by their landlord this weekend because they were Muslim. The mother survived. Today, mourners gathered for the boy's funeral. The FBI says it's seeking an increase in threats against both Muslim and Jewish people. They are seeing that develop. You can get the latest developments on Israel's war with Hamas on KSDK.com. Text the word Israel to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. A 10-year-old girl is dead. 4 others, including 3 children, are in serious condition tonight following a crash in Washington County. The accident happened around 8:30 this morning on Highway 21 north of Furnace Creek Road, south of Potosi. Drivers say the driver lost control on a curb and hit a tree. The injured children, who range in ages from 6 to 8, are all from Richwoods. We've learned a 3-year-old boy is among the victims of a triple shooting in Pacific. The child and 2 women were found shot Saturday night in the area of South Columbus and East Central streets. Police say each were shot several times. Police later arrested Quentin Howard on felony charges after he crashed near Six Flags in Eureka. Investigators say Howard knows the victims. The man charged with shooting and killing a 7-year-old girl and her father in the Central West End has pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Javon Nettles will serve 2 concurrent 10-year sentences for the 2021 shooting deaths of Demaya Fleming and Darian Rankin Fleming. Nettles was originally charged with first-degree murder, but prosecutors refiled the charges twice, saying they were not ready to proceed. That happened while Kim Gardner was in charge of the Circuit Attorney's Office, which was mired in case backlogs. Current St. Louis Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore released a statement saying, quote, "It is our view that this plea agreement represents the best result that could be achieved under the circumstances." He goes on to say, while far from perfect, this plea holds the perpetrator accountable for these tragic deaths. Nettles' alleged accomplice, Andre Wilson, is still awaiting trial. The cleanup of a stinky mess in University City is almost complete. City officials tell 5 on your side crews from Bio 1 St. Louis will finish out clearing out tons of rotting seafood and produce from inside the former Seafood City Market on Olive. The cleanup started exactly 4 weeks ago after neighbors began complaining about a foul odor and infestation of flies. The health department closed the market back in March. The city says the building's owner is footing the bill. The company is suing the owner of Seafood City for more than $300,000 in back rent.
I've been told to get you off my...
From the Metro East to Hollywood, tonight Eli Ward of Waterloo competed in the blind auditions on NBC's The Voice. He got Gwen Stefani and Reba McEntire to turn their chairs. The 21-year-old runner at the University of Iowa picked Gwen as his coach. Many gathered tonight in Ward's hometown, located about 30 miles southeast of St. Louis, for a watch party. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski was there as Eli even gave a special live performance.
21-year-old Waterloo native Eli Ward says his love for music started at a very young age.
My mom was always either singing or playing something, so ever since I was really young and impressionable, I was always just listening to music, and it's always been such a huge passion of mine.
It's something he and his mom Kathy shared.
It was funny. Eli would always wanted to learn to harmonize, and he would sing, and he was like, "Mom, am I singing harmony?" And I was like, "Not yet," like, "Here's the note." And so yeah, we had a lot of music lessons in those hour drives to soccer.
He decided to try out for The Voice on a whim, playing folk and acoustic pop songs.
Somehow I ended up in Burbank, and I was surrounded by just 80, 90 of the most talented musicians I've ever seen. Like, I was almost scared to sing for like 3 or 4 days because I was like, I don't know, guys, you guys are a little bit better. But it makes you level up fast, and you learn so much. It was really fun.
Eli actually turned 2 chairs tonight and joined Gwen Stefani on her team. He says the entire Waterloo community has been so supportive, and sharing this moment with them has been really special.
Getting to being in a big city, being in Burbank where everybody was super, super talented was crazy, but then coming back home and seeing all the people that are rallying for you in your corner, it's really fun.
And his parents couldn't be more proud.
Just to see him follow his passion, we just know how happy he is to be up there performing. He's not somebody who necessarily ever sought the spotlight, but when he's confident about something that he loves, he doesn't shy away from it either.
Reporting in Waterloo, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Eli Ward will now move on to the battle round. He joins Foley native Ruby Lee, who's on Team Reba, and you can follow their journey right here on 5 on Your Side every Monday and Tuesday night.
It's candy not for children, and that's leading to a surge in calls to poison control.
It's a slope that keeps getting higher.
Tonight, the I-Team exposes the unintended consequences of recreational marijuana in Missouri and the calls for tougher rules. It's the fake-out play Mizzou fans are still talking about. Tonight, a father's daily message to the punter who threw it and the reality they face together off the field.
An autumn chill each morning, but our afternoons warm up. I'll time out our shower chances midweek.
Tonight, a new effort to solve a 2-decade-old murder case in mid-Missouri. Kent Heitholt was beaten and strangled the night of November 1st, 2001 in the parking lot of the Columbia Daily Tribune, where he worked as a sports editor. A new concerned citizen group is now offering a $25,000 reward in the cold case. They have put up 7 new billboards in the Columbia area. 2 teens were convicted in Heitholt's murder, but have since been released from prison. Ryan Ferguson was exonerated in 2014. Charles Erickson served almost 20 years and was released earlier this year. New tonight, our I-Team is learning of a growing problem among teens and kids, accidental poisonings from cannabis gummies. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vazan talks to experts who say pleas for help are soaring.
We're taking you behind the scenes.
Missouri Poison Center?
Inside the Missouri Poison Center.
How old is your child?
Where the calls for help are nonstop.
Do we know how many are missing from that bottle?
Most cannabis-related calls are from parents whose child ate gummies by mistake.
It's a slope that keeps getting higher.
It's often because caregivers accidentally leave their edibles out in the open. Julie Weber leads the team that responds to their calls for help. In her 33 years at the Missouri Poison Center, she has never seen a recreational substance have such an impact in such a short time.
There could be so many more out there because our numbers are based on reports to us.
So far this year, the Missouri Poison Center has seen a record number of kids 5 and under exposed to cannabis edibles like gummies, a total of 168 cases. You can see how cases have spiked over the years. Weber says it's a trend partly driven by the legalization of recreational marijuana. It became legal in Missouri in 2022 and in Illinois 2 years earlier.
How dangerous are these gummies?
The danger in the gummies really is in the amount ingested and the concentration of the cannabis or THC in that product. With a young child, it can start out with maybe some dizziness, drowsiness, kind of loss of balance.
More serious symptoms include breathing problems and seizures.
What can manufacturers be doing better to make sure kids aren't eating this by accident?
It can be marketed more with warning signs, or even the state may want to consider one universal warning sign.
The National Cannabis Industry Association tells the I-Team Missouri and Illinois are similar to other states when it comes to packaging regulations. Packages must have a THC warning symbol, although there's no standard one. They must be more difficult for kids to open, with twist-to-open containers, for example. But our investigation finds that's not always happening. That's largely due to a growing black market. Weber says more and more people are buying untested, unlicensed products online that do not have the same requirements as products from regulated dispensaries.
Who do you believe needs to be held accountable here?
I think it's a shared responsibility that we need give and take between both the manufacturer as well as the consumer.
Here's what she says caregivers can do. Keep edibles out of sight from kids in a lockbox or another hard-to-open container. Keep edibles in the original packaging. In case of overdoses, it's easier to know what was actually eaten. And avoid consuming edibles around kids who mimic behavior.
Just recently, I talked with a mother of a teen who ate cannabis gummies at a St. Louis high school. She says she thought it was candy and ended up in the ER. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
If you need to reach the Missouri Poison Center, you can call 800-222-1222. All calls are free and confidential. And if you'd like to get in touch with our I-Team, you can leave a voice message at 314-444-5231 or email Paula directly at tips@ksdk.com. Now to a live look at the Gateway Arch. The lights that normally illuminate the stainless steel monument are off tonight, and they'll stay off for the next month. Crews are installing a new LED lighting system. The National Park Service says the new state-of-the-art lighting system will be brighter and reduce energy by 60%. The new lights are expected to be turned on November 18th. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott and joins us now with that Weather First forecast with some warmer temperatures ahead.
Yes, we have to get through this night and into tomorrow morning. And it's going to be probably the coldest morning we'll see throughout the rest of the week as slowly we warm up. So that Weather First forecast, you'll need a jacket tomorrow morning. And of course, trees, the leaves are changing a bit, but notice this one is a little browner. We again are in this drought and we've had limited moisture. And so there's not a lot of color in some of the trees. Others, definitely some trees. But Dylan, thanks for sending that in from Deloge. All right now across the area, notice the leaves are not moving much at all, so the wind is down. Very dry air is in place, and it's going to be another chilly night. So 65 was the high today, about 4 degrees below that average of near 70. And that low this morning, 42, and 49 is the average. So we'll do that 42 again tonight. We're already down to 48 in St. Louis, humidity 77%, and some patchy fog. When that temperature drops to the dew point, the air becomes saturated, and then you get areas of fog, but it should only be patchy. And then look outside of St. Louis, some upper 30s. If we get some of the valleys to drop to the mid 30s, maybe 36, you might even see some patchy frost. So it's a chilly night tonight, and then patchy morning fog and maybe those areas of frost and those in the valleys, but it gets much warmer as we get into the next couple of days. So an area of high pressure to the west. Once it moves to the east, it brings in more of a southerly wind. Today we had a northwest wind all day, some clouds in our eastern Illinois counties, but what we're watching is this area of moisture in the northwest. This will come our way as we get into really Wednesday night, and look how much moisture is with it. Not much at all. Most models, as this front comes through, showing just scattered rain showers in here. Probably not everybody's seeing it. And then less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall as we get into Wednesday night, early Thursday, and then we start to clear up for our weekend. So next weekend's looking fantastic. So here's just one of the models, again, below 1/10 of an inch of rain as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. Otherwise, tomorrow, after that patchy morning fog, plenty of sunshine, and then Wednesday, partly sunny, breezy, but that chance of an evening shower. 68 tomorrow, 75 Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday back in the 60s. But look at this. We get back to Saturday, Sunday, low 70s, and then even next week, most models take us well into the 70s for a bit.
All right, Jim, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, MLB playoffs, NFL football, and we have a story that you will want to watch about the hero of the Mizzou football team on Saturday night.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
The National League Championship Series began tonight, and it hurts if you're a St. Louis fan. Now, I didn't second guess this trade when it happened, but the Cardinals traded for this knucklehead Marcell Ozuna, who can hit, but they gave up Sandy Alcantara, who won the Cy Young Award last year, and Zach Gallen, who was the Diamondback starter tonight in Philadelphia. Gallen, who won 17 games this season, got lit up like an M80, though. Kyle Schwarber, first pitch, 1-0 Phillies. The third hitter, first pitch, Bryce Harper. Both of the homers exactly 420 feet. In the second, that man again, Nick Castellanos, he made it 3-0. Phillies take game one, 5-3. Bruce Bochy trying to win a fourth world championship. That would tie him for fourth all time. Game two, ALDS in Houston, Adolis Garcia, another former Cardinal who hit 39 homers this year, delivers the RBI base hit in the first. And despite two more home runs by Yordan Alvarez, the Rangers hang on for a 5-4 victory. They lead the series 2-0. Monday Night Football in SoFi Stadium, Michael Irvin having fun with his old coach, Jimmy Johnson. The Chargers will tie the game in the fourth. Justin Herbert to Gerald Everett. Right now, Dallas leads 20-17 with about a minute to play. So it was the play of the game and maybe the year. Marquise Johnson caught a 39-yard touchdown pass on a fake punt in Lexington, Kentucky on Saturday night for Mizzou. But tonight, we profile the punter who threw it, Luke Bauer from DeSmet, and his family who thoroughly enjoyed it. He literally was born to be a Tiger. There aren't many photos of Luke Bauer as a toddler where he's not a Tiger. And on Saturday, he had a moment that Tiger fans will never forget.
Well, I just know how fast he is, so I knew I wasn't going to overthrow him.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Big lead. They're going to fake it, and the throw to the sideline is caught! Touchdown, Missouri, Marcus Johnson!
His mother, Kathy, was watching at home in Glendale.
I started screaming like an annoying old lady screaming.
The punter threw a touchdown.
His father, Jeff, was in the stands.
I was yelling, "That's my boy, that's my boy, that's my boy." And everybody realized around me that I was Luke's dad. And everybody just came over and just started high-fiving and cheering.
Luke Bauer.
And the text. Oh, the text started coming.
1,000.
How many times do you think you've seen it?
Oh my gosh. 50. I was sitting right here and I'm like, what is he doing? It looks like he's gonna drop it.
Make it 51.
Here comes the throw.
They watched it again for us today.
I don't know whoever said that wasn't a good throw, but that was a heck of a throw and a heck of a catch.
Now, right after the game, Jeff and Luke had another moment to remember.
I saw him and I just started crying. He started crying and it was just an emotional moment and one I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Jeff's life has been difficult lately, though. 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with kidney cancer. They removed his kidney. It's stage 4, and it's moved to other parts of his body.
I try to live each day. I use that word believe with my son and my other son and my daughter, and I just try to believe that each day that there's a long-term plan for me from the guy above, and hopefully everything works out.
Here's a text exchange between Jeff and Luke. Believe, believe, believe. Love you, Dad. I will believe and do my best at everything I do. Love you, Luke.
It gets emotional every time you watch it.
However, there was a split second of not believing on Saturday night from Luke.
For a second, I didn't think it was going to get there, but I saw him jump up. I'm like, oh, this is happening.
For a young man, for a football program.
I'm jumping up and down and I'm going, that's my boy, that's my boy.
And most importantly, a family.
And Missouri goes not so fast.
It did happen. Jeff went to Columbia last Tuesday and he took Luke out to dinner and he noticed that Luke was kind of nervous. He didn't tell his dad about what they've been scheming all week. And his dad was the most surprised person in the building, or maybe the Kentucky defense was.
Great story, Frank. Thanks. Tee time set when you can take some swings at Missouri's second top golf location. Airports may be less crowded during the holidays. A new survey from Bankrate finds more than 75% of holiday travelers are changing their plans due to inflation and rising prices. Many plan to drive instead of fly. Others plan to take fewer trips or book cheaper accommodations.
They're ready to tee off at the new Topgolf in Midtown. It opens this Friday. The location on I-64 in South Compton features 102 outdoor climate-controlled hitting bays. There's also food and entertainment for non-golfers. Aquaman made a splash in his hometown in Norwalk, Iowa today. Actor Jason Momoa was there to promote his new vodka, Mei Lee. And tomorrow, he'll be in St. Louis at the Schnook store in Des Peres from 4:30 until 6. On Wednesday, he'll be at the Deerbergs in Crestwood from 10 a.m. to 11:30 and at Total Wine and More in Chesterfield from 2 until 3:30. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m.